When you have a load, what do you do? What do you do? Or what do I do? Well, first of all, finding a load is not easy, right? That takes the most, time. Because it's not just, mostly it's a issue with money, how much are people willing to pay, and you decide how much you need, and so you don't want to haul cheap loads. But also there's always a problem with what kind of a trailer the customer wants. Like just this past week I ran into loads where, first of all, they were either too heavy, like 140,000 pounds, or they wanted an extendable trailer. Like one guy wanted 26.8 feet in the well, and I have 26, and I'm like, what? So extra 10 inches not gonna work, but they have the design, they have all these drawings from the engineers, so they need 26.8 feet in the well. Or it's something super tall, and so they want a beam trailer, right? So basically, once you get past these two obstacles, so the money, first of all, can it work on your trailer? Yes, okay. Secondly, the money. Can we agree on a good rate? Yes. And then, of course, before even I talk to them about the money, what I do is I go to the website of my factoring company and I check the broker's credit. Because unless it's a COD, cash on delivery, I factor everything, and I don't wanna chase people, for money. Like, okay, I pay a small percentage for the convenience to the factoring company, but because of that, I get paid quite often on the same day as I deliver the load, as long as I send them the paperwork before 10 a.m. If it's after 10 a.m. they pay me on the next day. But still, it's like it takes so much stress, out of your operation, knowing that once you check the creditor, the broker's credit, you know that you will be paid, as long as you do the proper work, you're not late, you didn't get into an accident, stuff like that, right? And so once that is done, so what I do next is I have a to-do file, just in a WordPad, notepad, notebook file, just basic text file, and it's called to do, my to-do list, right? And usually, just to keep myself organized, I just write down what I need to do for this load. And so I created a list. And so, for example, for today I wrote down create a bill of lading, create an invoice, and create a permit application for oversized permit. And so I went in the morning to the coffee shop, I did the bill of lading, I did the invoice that I will send to the broker and the factoring company when the load is delivered. But then I look at the permit application and decided this can wait for tomorrow. And then also what I do, of course, I looked at the map to make sure how much time I need to get to the shipper, because in this case I have to drive pretty much all day tomorrow, Monday, to get to the shipper in northern Ontario. And so I look at the distance, I look at the actual address, is it like far away from the actual downtown, or is it close to downtown? Turns out it's a very accessible location. There's some kind of equipment dealer that I'm guessing sold this excavator to some American company. And so I feel okay about the map, right? So I have the paperwork to show them. I'm gonna print it out later. And then for tomorrow, it's been a while since I checked my tires, and since I have 8 axles, I just don't do it myself, so I'd rather go to a tire shop, but they closed today. And so the plan for Monday, and it was on my list, I said check all tires, and that will take them at least an hour. And so while they're doing that, and they open at 8, so I gotta be there like 7:30 to make sure I'm the first in line, because sometimes there's a guy with a flat tire and then you stuck there for 2 hours, right? So I want to be the first there when they open, so I'm just gonna get my truck and trailer, just pull in there. I think they open the gate pretty early, and so I'm gonna pull in like 7:30, maybe back in. Oh yeah, and that's another reason to go there early, because it's right on one of the busiest streets here in Cambridge, and it's very hard to back out of there later in the day. So instead, using the slow morning traffic, I'm gonna block the street and back into the tire shop. This way I can just drive out, right, instead of backing out into 4 lanes of traffic. And so that's why, another reason why I want to be there early. And sorry for the slight noise of the focusing motor. It's because I'm inside my car, I don't use the external mic, and the camera is probably picking up this noise of this USM lens. We are recording with the Canon 6D Mark II and 35mm f2.IS USM. And so while they're doing the tires, that's when I'm gonna do the permit application. Basically what I do is I have a file from my older applications where I have to enter what I'm picking up, like make, model, serial number, dimensions, where I need the permit. Like in this case I will need Michigan and Wisconsin only, because I'm going from Ontario through Michigan to Wisconsin, and that's it. But of course, yeah, and I can actually send it, but I'd rather look at the machine, especially since Michigan does not take that long. So but what I do, I kind of like prepare the draft, because sometimes it can take a long time, especially when you have a bunch of states. But in this case it's only 2 states, but still I have to look at the route, and I have to list all highways in there. I need a permit to allow me travel, let's say in Wisconsin on this particular highway, Michigan, so I need to know the route. And that's why I always do these drafts in advance. And so while these guys are working with tires, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna start driving. So I'll be there Monday night or Monday late afternoon, and they open at 8, I think, or 7:30. So I'll shut down somewhere close by, and then Tuesday morning I'll be loading. But in order to get to the tire shop tomorrow, Monday, of course I need to be hooked up to the trailer. And for now I did hook up to the 5th wheel, but I didn't connect any hoses. I didn't raise the trailer, and now I have to go and do that. And of course everything was perfectly fine, but now it started raining, so we might use a GoPro for this, not this big fancy camera. But I always struggle with those hydraulic hoses. Sometimes they're a real pain in the butt to hook up, so I always like to show that, because that's part of tough jobs of this, tough parts of this work. It's hooking up those hoses. And then we're gonna raise the trailer and make sure that it sits like it's totally off the ground, because now it's still sitting on blocks, and then I have to put those blocks on the deck and tighten the chain around them so that I'm ready for tomorrow morning. Let's go.
Okay, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go to the tire shop, check all the tires, and then since I'm loading an excavator, I'll be able to flip it myself, flip it back. Let me just double check where my pins are. Pins for the okay, they're over here. We got two over here, and we got one over there. That's not good. Should be four. Oh, all right. So there's two for the two spots that are now on the top, and there's two for these ones over here. So that's all I need, and I got those little washers in the truck. Okay, so Sunday chores are done. So this is it. The trailer is raised, all lines are connected. Thanks for watching.